So this morning what we want to talk about is some things that may be able to help you prevent the bite altogether. That's obviously our first goal. And in the inevitable situation that we are bitten, how to minimize the severity. If we can read the dog's body language, the first thing is you don't want to bend down and reach your hand out if you can help it. You know, you can't help putting the mail in the, in the box, I'm sure. But if there's a dog out, you know, you get to make a decision. If you have any concerns, I would not deliver the mail. I wouldn't get out of the car if the dog is loose and you have any concerns. Okay? So if you have a loose dog, a dog on a leash that's tethered, a dog that is restrained, and the restraint like a chain, behind a screen door, and they're hitting that door, what are they doing? They're sitting there all day long and waiting for you to go by. They know what time your route is, and that's their job. That's all. They don't have anything else to do. And so people pay me to come teach their dogs not to do that, which is great. But in your case, you have a dog that's sitting there waiting, and one day maybe that screen door doesn't get latched, and that dog hits that screen door, and all of a sudden it pops open, and then he's on his charge. That frustration level is so high, you're going to have a much more likely situation of the dog biting, even if he's a little ankle biter, right? And so if that happens, you want to minimize that bite. Don't run, don't move, don't try to kick at him. I mean, you can try one time, you know, being firm, get out of here. But after that, if he continues to come, you know, at you, you want to minimize your motion, stand still, be calm.
You know we have spray, right?
Yes, and if you feel like it's appropriate to use, do it. We were just talking about that. Some dogs will fight through the spray. So you absolutely use what you need to use to minimize what you need to do. So if you do spray them and it causes them to keep coming, you're trying to do, if you've got a bag, try to get it between you and the dog. Don't strike him. And you can use things as a distraction. So drop the ball, drop treats, something like that, but don't throw it, because the action is going to elicit, and it would literally be just, you can get that. It would literally be just dropping it on the ground, trying to get their focus somewhere else. Stop moving and my dog will stop biting you. Yeah. Trying to bring him to move again. But he's not moving, so she is backing up. Let's come. She might start to circle and bark like that, and that literally is. I worked on a case where we had a dog that really did some damage, but when the person would stop moving to the individual, they would just circle and bark. So that was a really good example, and she's very excited. So even though, you know, we'd like her to stop immediately, it took her a little while, but she did stop the action because there's nothing to engage and continue it.
And she's a lot more than your average dog you're going to meet on the street. She's probably about 80% more high drive, so that's why it's going to take her a little longer to out off the bite if I hold still, as opposed to a dog on the street. Because at that point, like she said, you become no fun anymore. So the dog's gonna be like, you're no fun. I'm gonna go find something that is fun.
No fun, or if the threat is gone.
Yeah.
If you are prey, you're dead. And so therefore we're gonna have the action of hoping to stop or minimize that. Putting something between you as a barrier, you know, would be your best defense if you can. And then trying to get don't turn your back. Try to remain calm. Those are the most critical things. No yelling, no screaming. You know, anything that's going to elicit the dog to get more excited. Other things to look for if you're not sure, you know, that there's a dog, if you see a dog bowl that's out in somebody's front yard, let's say, a chain, treats, toys, that kind of thing, then at least you have the mindset of looking in this area, if you're not already, you know, savvy to that. That there might be a dog at some point that happens to be out here because the evidence is there. Are there any questions specifically?
Is it biting
multiple times, or is it just necessarily biting one, grabbing and pulling?
It depends on the dog, and if you're moving around, he probably will try to regrip and, you know, typewriter bite. Or in her case where she wasn't getting him to interact because he was stopping, then she might try to do that a few times. And this is what's really hard. You have to already be in the mindset where this isn't going to work on the fly probably. But if you were in that situation where you were bitten, to hold still is very difficult because your natural reaction is to run or to flee or to fight it off. And that will cause much more severity on the magnitude of the bites and probably more bites. You know, we had a carrier in the last course we did that said, hey, I have my own system, and she said she comes running out with her spray, and she's very vocal and forward, and it backs the dogs off a lot of times. And so I'm not saying you can't try that, but watch what you have to be aware, and it's fast, of the dog. Does that back him off, and in which case then try to get calm and let him diffuse that energy. If you keep coming and he's getting more excited and coming forward some more, then you need to really change your plan of action. Running, you're not going to outrun him, and it's going to be worse because he thinks he's got the upper hand. It's a snake bite when they do get you from behind.
No!